It's still day one of the Truman's 1953 road trip from their home in Independence, Missouri to Washington, D.C. Charlie, Zoe, and I are still hot on their trail. It's 5 o'clock and the Trumans pull into a Shell station on the outskirts of Decatur, Illinois. Harry asks the attendant to fill the tank. The attendant kept looking at me as he filled up the gas tank, Truman recalled. Finally, he asked me if I was Senator Truman. I admitted the charge. Before pulling away from the station, Truman asked the attendant to recommend a good motel in town. We'd never stayed at one, Truman later explained, and we wanted to try it out and see if we liked it. It would also save him a lot of money. A night in a motel only cost about $5. The attendant recommended the Parkview Motel and gave Harry directions. Then, as soon as the Trumans were gone, he called the local newspapers. The Parkview was quiet when Harry and Bess pulled up, but within minutes the motel's parking lot swarmed with reporters, photographers, and curious locals. When Decatur Police Chief Glenn Kerwin learned the former president and First Lady were traveling by themselves without even a single bodyguard, he was aghast. What if something happened to them while they were in his jurisdiction? Kerwin immediately dispatched 2 officers to the Parkview. The Parkview Motel where the Truman stayed in Decatur is still around. Only now it's a prison. The Illinois Department of Corrections bought the motel and turned it into a correctional facility for work-released inmates. Officially known as the Decatur Adult Transition Center, or ATC, it houses more than 100 convicted felons. When I asked permission to take pictures of the ATC, I was denied. And when I tried to take a picture, they removed us from the premises completely. On the first night of the road trip, Harry and Bess drove to Grove's, a popular diner in a long, low-slung building on the north side of Decatur. A police car led the way, and several cars filled with reporters and gawkers followed the Trumans, forming an impromptu motorcade. It was not the kind of inconspicuous outing that Harry had hoped for. When I looked up and saw who it was, I almost dropped dead, said their waitress Helen Werve. He was very pleasant and said everybody had been very nice to him. And Bess, she had her hair all fixed up real pretty. We went looking for the Grove restaurant, but it's no longer there. Once again, Zoe found it. It's now a McDonald's. Well, Decatur was a lot of fun, but it's time to move on to our next destination, Indianapolis, Indiana.